Super dope. Happy Thursday. Hey, if you already heard this one, well, I guess you're going to hear it again. This is a bit of a repeat from Rayshawn's feed, the RGAP podcast, wherein we break down the first Dragon Ball arc. We did the first 13 episodes about a month ago, probably, and this is part one of that discussion. Parts 2 and 3, it honestly might just be part 2. I don't know how we decided to do it. Is now available on his feed. So if you enjoyed this conversation, go check that out. Links are in the show notes for part 2. Also, today, Thursday, is the day. We got the New York Comic-Con panel at 12:30 Eastern this afternoon. If you're a member of the Discord, I'm going to be streaming the panel live during the stream. Yeah, that was a good sentence. Anyway, if you're not in the Discord, go be in the Discord. Watch that thing. Like on your lunch break or whatever. I don't know how people's lives work with jobs and shit, but 12:30 p.m., it's like primetime lunch hours, no? Last thing, I do expect next week to be a little bit of an off week. I'm going to put something out. It'll probably be specific to draft spoiler stuff for chapter 77, reviews, voicemails, emails, whatever. I don't know what the fuck I got to do. So if you want to have your voice on the show next week, 401-213-9596. Send me an email, dbsuperdope@gmail.com, or go leave us a Apple Podcast review. I'll read it, and then it'll be good for everybody. Be good for you, be good for me, be good for other people who are on the fence about leaving a review. Know what I mean? All right. Enjoy this conversation I had with Rayshawn a few weeks back. And part 2 is available now. Links are in the show notes. I will talk with you soon. 12:30 Discord. We're going to watch this New York Comic-Con panel. Did I say San Diego Comic-Con before? I might have. Whatever. You know what I meant. Super dope. Dragon Ball Super dope. Rayshawn, thanks for helping me back, man. I appreciate it. And thanks for the invite to do this episode. Like, I didn't realize it was the first time you'd watch these in Japanese. This shit's old hat to me. Like, I've done podcasts on, I think, each one of these episodes in the last few years on Patreon or public stuff or whatever, but haven't talked about them in a while. Sat down, rewatched them over the last few days. And it was nice for me to revisit. Like, I think these are fucking hilarious. This is one of the more interesting Dragon Ball arcs to me. To be in the first one, it's still, it's a very undefined series, but very curious to hear some of your thoughts on this one, this first initial quest for the Dragon Balls.
I think rewatching this and just Japanese, I feel like I really learned the difference in the censorship that Japanese versus even the English dub. Because even some of the things they change in phrases of certain things, I was like, okay. That's a little different, but I can see why they went the other way in the English dub versus this. A lot of different things that I didn't think would be different, like outstanding things that I will see versus the dub and the English dub versus the Japanese. Sure. Is I'll say expressions, the way each character expresses themselves is really heightened in the Japanese dub. I don't know if it's just because it's the animation is made for their voices. You know what I mean? So It's kind of more expressive when they speak and stuff. Because I've been trying to wrap my head around it, because I'm I have to give it to great voice acting. They're great. There's really good voice acting. So especially the yelling and the screaming, you can really tell they really go all out in the Japanese dub versus the English dub.
Primetime Masako Nozawa for Little Kid Goku. But I think getting to what you're talking about, the expressions are heightened, or the voices seem heightened. Yeah, I'm sure because it's originally done in Japanese. But I think another connection or disconnect that we have the ability to make because we don't speak Japanese is we listen to the tone of the voice a lot more closely because we don't have the benefit of knowing the words words that they're saying, as where if we hear somebody speaking in English, like we understand the words they're saying, the inflection and the tone of their voice is a piece of that, but like not the only piece we're really going off of. So I think maybe we're just, because we don't speak Japanese, we're more inclined to just dial into the tone of the voice, the high pitched, excited nature of it, especially if a character like Goku or a pissed off Bulma or a pissed off Puar, pissed off Oolong. Lots of pissed off people in this arc. It's a good introduction to everybody as varied personalities, and then Goku's, kind of flat character circle, not really bothered by anything thing.
You know what's so funny though? I've always loved Kid Goku. He's one of my favorite shonen characters. I don't know what it is. I think it's his not really caring and just adventuring and just going against anything that comes his way. I just really like him. And it's never really no like main problem within Goku. You know what I mean? It's always like the things surrounding him or the things he's getting involved with or trying to help people. Or, like, it's just, I don't know. Yeah, I'm always inspired to be Kid Goku.
He's very unbothered. Like, he just kind of goes with the flow, but he also like, what's the right way to say it? He's unbothered, goes with the flow, but he also has like a quiet confidence about him in these early episodes. And I think part of it is because, he knows he's really strong. Like, first episode, he's like out catching 300-pound fishes and chopping up tree trunks for firewood, like first thing in the morning, like it's nothing. Like, we know the kid's strong, but he also knows he's strong because he's out there in the goddamn woods though by himself for so long. There's like a disconnect from the rest of the world. So he is quietly confident about his abilities, and doesn't always come off in like a super braggadocious way or some shit. It's just like him being like, no, I can do that. I could totally punch a hole through this wall or do this Kamehameha wave or whatever very quickly, and it's no thing to him. I love little kid Goku.
Yeah, but I think main reason why he has all that confidence is because his traveling partner is Bulma, and she literally throws him at everything, like anything that happens. I would love to have something like a Goku for every life crisis.
I mean, people kind of laugh at me when I say that Bulma's one of my favorite Dragon Ball characters because
she's amazing though.
She's an unconventional pick because you think of Dragon Ball, it's like strong guys, Goku, Vegeta, fights, big muscles, blasts and stuff like that. But like Bulma is, one of the smartest characters on Earth. At this point in Dragon Ball, she's like 16-year-old dummy little girl, but she's still like doing stuff like inventing the Dragon Raider on the weekends. So she obviously is on the up and up when it comes to her smarts at this point, even now, but she's still like a naive, dumb little kid in her own ways, opposite of Goku. She's like real quick to identify talent and like bring it on board. So when she beats Goku in the first episode, she's like, oh man, I tried to shoot the kid, ran him over with my car. Seems pretty strong. He'd be a great bodyguard. Hey kid, you want to roll with me? Like, that's just how she is, man. She's a politician. She's a recruiter. She knows what she's doing.
I always thought she was like, I'm not going to be able to take it from him. So let me just get him on my side. But either way is a smart way pick for her. But that's low key bringing us into the first episode. So I guess we might as well go ahead and talk about it.
Yeah. Episode 1. I tried to write down the Japanese titles for these as I went through my notes. Episode 1, Bulma and Goku. Cool. Because that's like the two main characters, right?
Yep. And I've always told people you can never discount Bulma because she's literally one of the first two characters of Dragon Ball. You have to give her props. And you gotta give a lot of the plot and the things that move around in Dragon Ball cannot be done without Bulma. Like if you take Bulma out of Dragon Ball, I don't even know if you can find a Dragon Ball.
I don't think the Dragon Balls ever come into the story of Dragon Ball unless you've got Bulma.
So like it's pretty crazy, but
I think a lot of people sleep on her because like when Dragon Ball Z first came over to the States, like the Saiyan saga and the Namek saga, even though she goes to Namek, she's just chilling, hiding in a cave for most of it. So like she's very much damsel in distress. They don't get to see her be a useful part of the story like they do in Dragon Ball and Dragon Ball Z. So that being people's first like introduction to Bulma in a lot of ways, I think that kind of just stacked the deck against her. And everyone's like, Bulma, she's fucking annoying, dude. Why do you like Bulma?
Yeah. Dummy. But I mean, it's like you gotta give her props because she low key made the ship to go to where do they go to Namek? So I mean, you gotta give her a little bit.
She figures it all out. She's always the one that pieced the shit together between the big fights.
So basically, in this episode, what I really wanted to talk about is basically how the whole dynamic started, and them just meeting and the first time she meets Goku, she literally just goes ham on the dude and just starts shooting him. To me, it's pretty much one of the funniest scenes because to me, I feel like it's a normal reaction, like kind of, sort of, from her perspective. And then seeing him like take those shots and then take her car and pick it up and then break it. I was thinking like from this perspective, like, say if Goku was like a rapist, this is a fucked up situation. But like, think from my perspective, like you went through all this right now to get to him to stop, and he's not going down. What do you do?
Hit the dude with a car. I hit him with a giant fish. I shot him in the head with my gun. He now picked up my car and threw it. I like Goku's he's never met a girl before now. He's never really met any other people for the most part outside of Grandpa Gohan, but sees the car, thinks it's like a demon. Bulma comes crawling out of it. She's like, "What's up, goblin? You're a goblin living in that thing?" And like when he gets hit by those bullets, he thinks that it's black magic and that Bulma's a witch. Like
I love the naive of
little Goku shit,
Goku.
Man.
The naive of him is so fucking hilarious because it be making you be like, well, you just cannot be just. But he can be like he's literally been in the woods and the offbringing, and his offbringing is like this. And this disconnect that I've always had is this actually he said it in episode 2, so I'll wait till episode 2. And that was basically
I think the first one though, the way they meet and that sets up their relationship for the rest of their lives. I never noticed. I never remembered how mean Bulma is to Goku, like especially in these first 2 or 3 episodes. She calls him an idiot like 10, 12 times. It's like her effing catchphrase, but we get to see Goku doing his thing in nature and, hanging out with monkeys and beating up fish and shit. And we meet the Pilaf gang, learn about the Dragon Balls.
Mm-hmm.
There is one. So at the end of the episode, like whatever, they've done like the first part of their thing. They've met, they're decided to journey together. Bulma has to go off to take a pee, and then she goes and ducks behind a rock. He's behind a rock so that way Goku doesn't look at her. I don't know. Just like the lack of boundaries for Goku too. He's like, "What's the matter? Why don't you just pee right here? It's fine." Not to do it in a pervy way or anything, but she goes behind the rocks and takes a leak, and you just hear her scream. My favorite line of this first episode, Goku hears her scream and goes, "What's wrong? Did a snake bite your wiener or something?" Gets me every single time. I always forget it's coming. Every time I see it, dude, I nearly piss my pants.
Well, you know what's so funny? Like, I don't know what it is about like Japanese censorship, but the amount of times we see like just naked characters just in these 13 episodes. Yeah. It's fucking crazy. Like, it's some of these episodes that I highlight just scenes that happened that literally rolls the episode up just because that happened in that episode. And literally it's something that happens in episode 2 that I have to talk about. That's fucking crazy. I think it's literally the Pat Smack everyone knows about.
Oh, the meme, the Pat Smack heard around the world, episode 2. So like, I like the title for episode 2. I watch them on the Funimation app and they have like the English localization names, but they give you the Japanese title cards in the episodes. The Japanese title card for this one is "What the ... no balls." And like, a show named Dragon Ball, if you watch the first episode, they're collecting Dragon Balls. You would get to the beginning of this episode and be like, "No balls? What are they, not find a ball where they expect to find a ball? Do they lose their Dragon Balls?" It's like, nah, dude, we're talking about dongs and dicks and balls.
Yep, this is where we start to learn about the human anatomy.
Why do you always put things in such a classier way than I do?
And also, this is the first episode where I really started to notice the change between Dino Caps and when they were calling them Hoi Pai capsules.
Yeah,
and at first I was low key confused. I was like, "What is that?" And then I was like, "Oh, so okay." Because then I was trying to think: is Dino Caps just like the English transit? Like, is that the English transition of that word, basically?
Yeah, I believe Dino Capsules in the early dubs are Hoi Poi capsules, and then as the show goes on, they don't call them Dino Capsules less and just capsules, but also they don't use capsules as regularly. One thing that kind of, I don't want to say it bothers me, but I wish it was a little bit more clearly defined, is that as we go on to learn later in the series, Bulma's family owns the Capsule Corporation, which makes this capsule technology. When she shows up just using the capsule technology in the woods, she doesn't strike me as the person who may have helped to invent it or like the daughter of the person who invented it. She strikes me as like rich girl consumer type who just can buy all the best capsules. But
she seemed like her daddy might have invented them. Like, she seems like that type of girl.
I think she seems more like she's presented more like her daddy might have bought them. Not that her daddy invented.
Okay, I'll say that because I guess if you think invented something, she would have like some good, like her own, like special ones. And she didn't seem like she had any like really special kind of capsules with her.
I mean, she had a house in one of those motherfuckers, which is cool because imagine fitting a house in a capsule or anything else for that matter.
One thing I always thought that was funny in this episode, and it kind of made me was thinking is, how did Pilaf know about the Dragon Balls?
That's a pretty good question. I mean, it's one of those things where it's like, how does Bulma find out about the Dragon Balls? How does Pilaf find out about the Dragon Balls? And then we meet Roshi in the next episode. He has one hanging around his fucking neck. He's 350 years old. He found this Dragon Ball over 100 years ago.
And he doesn't know what it is, but he has the banjo flan. He has all these like random artifacts, but don't know what the Dragon Balls are.
He's like, I got a fan that puts out mystical fires that I spill wonton soup on. I've got a phoenix that could give you eternal life. Got some magical elixir potion to remain young or whatever. Like, I have all these things. I'm Muten Roshi, but what in the fuck is a Dragon Ball?
And then he got, I gotta wait till we get to that episode because there was something else he said that just drove me a little funny. But this is what,
episode 2, what the no balls.
Okay.
Lots of nudity.
Yeah.
Bulma gives Goku his first bath. I thought that was cute.
It was real nice, sisterly type of moment.
Pilaf, he farts. That's funny. Farts are funny.
And he doesn't want to take credit for it and almost fucking kills what's his name about it.
One of the favorite parts about that scene is he's like, you did that, right? You farted? He's like, no, right? He's like, you're a fucking liar. And instead of being able to like hit the button under his desk to have the robot arms pop out to grab him, he has to like run across the room, hits the button. He's like, man, I really got to move that switch.
Boy,
there's just so many good little jokes like that. Like early Dragon Ball is so legitimately funny on purpose.
And that's one thing I thought was more expressed through the Japanese dub. It felt more like a funny, fun show. And I don't know if that's just because of what you were saying, like I'm really paying more attention to like their expressions and stuff since I don't really know what they're saying. But it just really, to me, it felt more fun. I don't know. That's something just from my perspective.
I think being able to use the original dialogue as it was written, as it was intended, like we're saying, like Japanese censorship laws in 1986, especially when the show aired. I think it aired on Wednesday nights. I could be wrong, but it definitely premiered in like a prime time slot instead of like a Saturday morning cartoon slot like Dragon Ball Super does. So that's one thing that kind of makes them have to ease up on some of the violence in Dragon Ball Super episodes nowadays. But back then, it was geared more toward like a martial arts comedy book. Like Dragon Ball Z kind of erases a lot of the comedy for most of it until you get back to Majin Buu. And then some goofy, surreal shit starts happening again. And it gets a little funny at points. Gotenks and Majin Buu and Hercule Satan being involved more often. But with early Dragon Ball, it was always baked into the formula. So it being so funny in its native language, they can say things like, where's your dick and balls? They can say things like, what did I write down here? Were you abandoned because your chest is a butt? I think is what that says. I have terrible handwriting, but your balls are gone. TP2, you help wash me, so I'll help wash you. Like those 3 things would never in a million years be in a Dragon Ball English dub. So being able to be faithful and not change the original jokes as they were intended, I think lends itself to letting it be a funnier show, man. English translations ruin shit sometimes. I mean,
I think those 3 statements you just said will get you arrested now.
Dude, all right. You wash me, so I'll wash you. Like, not in 2021, man. Not little kids and fucking 16-year-old girls, man. That's how motherfuckers go to jail, man.
That's great, HR. I can hear that. I can already hear that one. One thing I already thought, because, since I don't know if this was more since I've watched Dragon Ball, and I know I'll kind of like a lot of the wishes come, and they're mostly kind of like gag wishes. And then we kind of hear about Pilaf's wish to basically for world dominance. And to my head, I'm thinking, is that something he will actually wish for? Like, do you think he'll like actually wish for that if he had the chance?
He had the chance and he fucked it up. He didn't act quick enough.
True.
Perverted pig fucking beat him to the punch. But I don't know, man. Like one thing that I kind of forget about these early episodes of Dragon Ball is Goku says that he's 14.
Yes, that's what I was about to say that.
We go on to learn later he's actually 12 and he just can't fucking count, but whatever. Oolong is like a young kid. Pilaf too, even though he's hanging out with Mai, who's like a full-grown woman, and a fucking talking dog named Shu.
Oh, so Pilaf's a kid too?
I'm pretty sure he's a kid too. Like,
okay, that's like the only one I was kind of questionable, and probably Oolong too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure. I mean, because the Oolong episode.
It's kind of crazy.
It's kind of fucking like we're skipping ahead a little bit, but like the Oolong episode is fucking gross. I mean, until you learn, it's like, episode. Oh, you're basically the same age as a kindergartner. All right, this is less gross, but it's still pretty gross.
Especially with the mindset he has. So
Yeah, for real, man. He's just always like mad horny.
He's like Master Roshi, but I guess at an acceptable age to be Master Roshi perviness.
I don't even know about that, man. There's like a certain level of perviness. It's actually a good segue to our third episode. The
I wanted to talk about the Goku Bulma pussy smack.
Oh,
we forgot all about the pussy smack.
Pussy smack heard around the world. I just kind of compartmentalize memes out of my brain sometimes. Like the pussy smack is something I've seen posted so much, and every time I watch it, I'm like, yeah, this is classic OG shit.
To me, it's just one of the most iconic scenes from Dragon Ball. If you have never seen this scene, I know you haven't watched Dragon Ball. I can't even say you're skipping through it because it's literally the second episode. So you're not watching it. So you have to know this one. Oh, and I also had one other question before we moved over, and it was basically, am I skipping? No, yeah. Where did they get the salt water for the turtle?
Salt water and seaweed.
It's like, did they just go in there and just put water and salt? That's not salt water, is it?
I would have tried to do that. Yeah, but this is all I got for a turtle.
What I would have did too.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that would actually kill a turtle, maybe. But
if I would. Oh, we forgot to do last episode. So let's go ahead. What would you rate last episode if you? I guess if you.
Oh, you want to do like a 1 out of 10 kind of deal?
Yep.
All right. So episode 1, Bulma and Goku. Lots of hit Goku classic moments. Bulma shoots Goku in the head, hits him with a car. Classic shit. I'll give it like a 8.5.
That's literally what I gave it. So I guess we'll just give it an 8.5.
And then episode 2. I mean, I kind of like episode 2 better than episode 1 personally. I think it's way funnier. And there's lots of weird shit. One of the most uncomfortable lines to me is when Goku realizes that him and Bulma are going to sleep together in the house. He's like, oh, wow, it's been so long since I've slept with somebody. She's like, what? You're not sleeping with me, perv. He's like, why not? I used to sleep with my grandpa and I'd sleep with my head in his lap and it was nice and soft. And I was just like, you what? Back up. Repeat what you just said. Actually, don't repeat it. I'm already disturbed enough.
Child services would be like, hold up.
Yeah, right. They don't have CPS out in the fucking mountains of Japan, I guess.
Well, that'd be fucking hilarious.
So episode 2, I liked it better. I gave the first one 8.5. I'll go 10 out of 10 for episode 2.
Dang. I actually gave episode 2 an 8.
Solid.
It's not a bad episode. I just didn't feel like it was as impactful as the first episode. Like the introduction of the episode is always going to probably be either a special episode. I just felt like the second episode was a good second episode.
Did you get uncomfortable with how much dick and balls was in it?
No, probably no, not. I can't even say the lack of, because they literally show everything. Like that really is what surprises me.
Yeah, they show you Goku's dick like 5 different times in this stretch of episodes. Also, I noticed today for the first time ever, I think there's a shot of Oolong's dick too in one of these episodes, and I was like, holy God. A pig dick? I never noticed this before.
I don't remember. What episode was that?
I think it was the second to last episode, or maybe the episode before, or maybe the episode after that. It's either episode 12 or 13. It's like a weird shot of him and Puar like transformed after they escape out of the castle, and like Puar's got like a bat wing out or some shit, and like it's covering Oolong's like torso. His head's revealed, and then there's just a little tiny bit just below the bat wing, and it's Oolong's little tiny pig dick.
That is crazy.
It's fucking funny as hell.
I guess that'll be moving us into episode 3, one of my favorite episodes.
Turtle Hermit, Kinto Un.
This is the first time we introduced to his fighting style, the rock, paper, scissors, which is actually, we've seen this fighting style in like different anime, like in Hunter x Hunter. We got your main character kind of doing the same fighting style. So I just wonder if this is like something that's like within like Japanese culture.
So what do you mean, like naming a move after rock, paper, scissors, or
is that from a style? Like, is they incorporating that? Like, is that Jonton or something? I don't know why. I was just about to say or anything.
Were you about to say Jeet Kune Do?
I think so. I think
it's a Bruce Lee thing. I feel like it's like that's how you're supposed to say it anyway. I don't know, honestly. I mean, it's cool to see that because we haven't had the Kamehameha yet. We'll get that in a few episodes, but this is like the first time you see Goku like
having some type of like Yeah, I guess it having
And he uses it to punch out a giant fucking bear with a sword who talks shit.
That
all
loves
the animals
turtle meat.
talking in this world, man.
That was another question I had, but that was for another episode where I was literally about to be like, is fucking Master Roshi just friends with all the fish? Like, like this is fucking.
So episode 3, they're bringing the Kame, the turtle, back to Master Roshi's house, right?
Yep.
And they like reunite him. There's another episode though where Pilaf shows up on the island and Master Roshi's not home, but there's like an alligator chilling outside and they like shake down the alligator for information, like, where the fuck's Master Roshi? And the alligator's like, dude, he went to the grocery store or whatever he fucking says. And I'm just like, first of all, this alligator talks too. That's strange. Second of all, where'd he go? Like, Master Roshi's island is not very big. He obviously had a relationship with a dude. Would Master Roshi kick him off the island when he got back that day? Never see the dude again.
You know what else was funny? It's an episode what made me think about this is when Goku and Chi-Chi were riding to Master Roshi's house and they literally stopped in the middle of the ocean and a dolphin came out and fucking told him where Master Roshi was. And I was like, what the fuck? Like, what?
What the fuck? Hey man, dolphins know how to get to the Kame house too. Master Roshi's throwing all sorts of wild parties and shit.
And this is one thing I thought was funny. It's like, how were the Pilaf gang tracking the Dragon Balls? Because they literally had somebody like call over the phone. Who was the first call over the phone?
It's a real convoluted process. They have like an intel team on the ground just shaking down villagers for information about strange glowing mystical orbs and shit. But by like the 6th or 7th episode, they do have Mai build a giant Dragon Ball radar on a screen. So those phone calls go away. I think Mai is an underappreciated technical genius. Like, serving this blue little dummy and fucking hanging out with a talking dog all day. Meanwhile, she's building a Dragon Ball radar on par with Bulma's, I guess. It's just a giant size version of it. But
yeah, I mean, it was really because they were able to attract the one they had to the exact location, which is you gotta give her props for that. But you know what else was funny? Just another one of the funny things. Like, I don't remember this being worded or phrased this way in the dub, but it was basically they were talking about the Phoenix, and he was like, the Phoenix died of food poisoning. I'm not like, what? I was just like, I'm not sure that was in the dub. Like,
yeah, right. I'm saying, like, I feel like because we're watching it in Japanese, that like when they localized it in English, they were probably like, kids aren't gonna get that fucking joke. Like, kids are gonna get a food poisoning joke about an eternal phoenix that's supposed to grant you eternal life. That's
exactly what I was about to say. Like,
yeah.
And then I was like, and then he was just about to give it to Goku and give him eternal life. I'm like, he was literally about to make Goku OP within the 2nd episode. Like,
so this is exactly what I wrote down. Roshi tries to give the Phoenix / eternal life. What if scenario? 350 years is a long time, roughly around how old Roshi is. If he was willing to give Goku eternal life just for bringing his fucking turtle home, how many other people has he offered eternal life to? Like, how many other people are walking around the planet as old as Master Roshi, just waiting to bump into Goku, being like, yeah, I met that Phoenix once. Oh, he died of food poisoning? Terrible. Glad I met him before that. 'Cause I'm eternal life, baby. That's what I got.
This going up to my next scene is going to kind of add on to what you were kind of just saying. Is one of my favorite scenes. And what I were talking about earlier, just some of the nudity that we get throughout Dragon Ball. And we literally get one of my favorite scenes when Bulma literally pulls up her fucking dress and there's no panties. And so she literally shows her pussy and Master Roshi nosebleed. That shit is fucking crazy. But you know what else I thought was funny? Not even funnier. What was funnier said right before that is when Master Roshi asked Turtle, so did Bulma do anything to help with the situation? And Turtle was like, no.
Nah, she did nothing but be a bitch and complain the whole time.
I thought that was fucking hilarious. I don't know why, but it's just one of the funniest scenes to me.
So there's a couple things going on between the Turtle and Roshi. And then I put Bulma first. Like, Goku has the reveal, like, takes off her fucking underwear while she's asleep and realizes that she doesn't have a dick and balls, and that freaks him out. she wakes up and goes about her day all freaked out. And then she's, going out and about. She does this dress thing later. And I don't know, man. I too have a dick and balls. So I don't know what it's like to wear women's underwear, So
but you think they would be able to feel that, right?
You'd be able to tell that you don't have underwear on, wouldn't you? Before you just lift up your dress like that to a crazy old man. But the request that he's making to, just be a perv on Bulma, the turtle is like, yo, what? What did you just ask for?
He's like the only.
So
he's the only person with a conscience in that moment.
I thought a lot about this, dude.
Because even Bulma's like, fuck it, I'm just gonna just do it.
Well, Bulma kind of like, even when she first meets Goku, she's like, she doesn't realize how naive Goku is, but she's like, don't try any funny business, buddy. And she's like, oh shit, this kid doesn't even know what funny business would be. He's so naive. And then she meets Roshi and she's just like, yeah, like she's uncomfortable with it, obviously, but she's also like kind of expecting it at the same time. So it kind of just goes whatever with her. She fights it until she needs to do it to get what she wants. But Turtle, he's like, I've been gone for a year. Like, what happened to you, Master Roshi? Why are you like this now? And when we watched these for Dragon Ball Super Dope a couple of years back and did OG episodes, like that's
a good thing, thinking that like Master Roshi kind of changed between when he was gone. That's odd to even think about that.
So my theory is, I think the turtle says he's like 150 years old or over 100 years old or something like that. We know Roshi's like over 350, I think, or in that vicinity. The turtle gets lost and is away from the Kame house for a year. Master Roshi's alone for the first time in 100 fucking years. He probably just went mad, beating off all around the house, loaded up on nudie magazines, took his submarine to shore, went to the local adult bookstore, brought home a stack, and has just been working the tissue box overtime ever since. And now the turtle is back, and he's like, God damn it.
What the fuck is going on?
My privacy, it's gone. But at least there's this girl here, and I've seen a lot of things and learned about a lot of stuff in the last year through my nudie magazines. So I'm going to pop through this girl.
That surprised me, and I don't know if this is like, if I can call myself a Dragon Ball Z fan, because when I seen this, it kind of hurt me. I didn't know the turtle name was Kame.
Oh, so it's not Kame. Kame is the word for turtle. The turtle's name is Uragami. Urigame, which I think has like something that might be like sea turtle-ish specifically, but his name is Uragami. But yeah, Kame as in Kamehameha.
So that just means term. So, okay.
Kame means turtle wave Kamehameha.
Now it feels double stupid.
Now
it makes sense. At first, because like how I was thinking, I was like, so is the turtle Master Roshi's master?
Yeah, Kame is Kame Sennin, the turtle hermit's master.
That's why I was like that.
This is roommate. Yeah, he doesn't want to watch him jerk off, so he went and got lost for a year, and now Master Roshi can't stop thinking about 16-year-old girls, I guess. It's a plague, really.
But I was thinking that, like, if you think it's not that much of a difference from who lives in the tower? I can't even think his name. It just disappeared for some reason.
Pilaf?
No, the tower.
Which tower? Karin?
Karin, yeah, Karin. That wouldn't be that much different from Kern, a cat from a turtle.
Yeah, I guess. But at least that cat is like
a sage, I guess.
Yeah, it makes like beans and shit, and he can train you. Uragami just needed to get his ass lifted back to the ocean,
which is fucking hilarious to me. Because like,
I think it's more hilarious that Goku does it. He's just like, yeah, sure, whatever.
No, I think it's funny because right before that, he was like crushing rocks, and he was literally about to just destroy that turtle if the turtle didn't say anything.
I'm gonna go outside and get some exercise. Mix it up. He's like, whoa, put me down, dude.
No, because it's like the scene before that. He literally like just picking up boulders and just like just busting them open. So I'm literally like, oh, that turtle was about to be. He was about to be an open can good fucking with Goku.
But you know what? He brought him back to Roshi. And Roshi, quick to make friends, obviously, can't give out a phoenix and gives him the Kinto Un.
And it really showed, this was probably the first episode where you start to see how like kind Goku is and being able to be one of those people who would go out for his friends.
Yeah. I mean, even just go out of his way for fucking people he just met.
Like, and random people.
Well, I mean, unless he's got like turtle brethren back in the fucking mountains. doubtful because he just thinks the ocean is a big ass river. Young naive Goku is one of my favorite things in the world, man.
So if you had to rate this episode, what would you give it?
I don't know, man. So many good moments. Meet Roshi, this jerk off thing that I've had going on in my brain for the last 2 years, and how it's so bizarre comes from this episode. Bear with a sword.
You get to see the flying Nimbus.
Oh, there's a weird ass scene in here with Pilaf just like beating the shit out of some Muslim people for information for where the next Dragon Ball is. Like, it's fucking bizarre, dude. That scene's in here. That's a really weird scene. I'm going.
You know what's crazy? That's the type of like when he did that. That's the type of thing I kind of see Trump doing.
Yeah, small little man with a big fat fucking head, tiny little baby hands.
I'm fucking
hates Muslims.
Weak.
Fucking assholes, man. Except one is like played up for comedic relief. The other is a fucking clown that we all unfortunately have to deal with in real life.
True.
I'm going 9 out of 10, man. This is a great episode.
Damn. Same. We got the same score on it. It's 9 out of 10. It's actually one of my, out of the top 3, my favorite episode, because I don't know, I feel like you start to kind of get the story fleshed on with this episode, and you start to see you get to see Master Roshi, and you kind of get to see more characteristics of Goku, not only just being a fighter type of person, but also being like a caring type of character. And kind of seeing Bulma. I felt like Bulma wasn't as annoying in as other episodes she's going to be. But in this episode, she was pretty decent in this episode. I mean, other than the fact that she didn't want to fucking do anything until she fucking looked around her surroundings and was like, well, I can't do anything either. So let me just stay with you, Goku type shit.
I just think they do a good job of in these first few episodes of, like you said, letting us get to know the characters' personalities a little bit. But another thing that I like, and I think you kind of really start to feel it more once you meet Master Roshi and Yamcha too, subsequently, and how Yamcha knows these other people in the world. Like everyone's heard of Roshi, the god of martial arts. Everyone's heard of the great Son Gohan and the great Gyu Mao and all this shit. Like, I like those little drops in these early episodes that like kind of get you excited to meet other characters and like kind of build out other pieces of the history of the world. I like that shit.
Yep, because that brings us into what, episode 4?
Oolong, the terrible fucking creepo
3.
monster.
No, we had episode 4.
Yeah, we had episode 4. Oolong, the terrible monster who kidnaps little girls from villages dressed as like demons in tuxedos or middle-aged men, and then was going to make them his wife, but actually just takes them back to his mansion to take care of them for the rest of their lives.
You know, the thing I was kind of what was puzzling me about this episode was like, in all these transformations, right? Was he still only like at pig strength? Like he was only at the strength of a pig?
Yeah, he does say it at a certain point, and I don't know if it's this episode or the next one, but he's like, even though I transform into this big thing, I'm only still as strong as I am. So yeah,
because that was like one thing I was like, if any of these people just decided to just fight back, I guess just being terrorized by how big this thing is, it's just like
it's a big,
because it was that one scene when that dude had the little kid had the slingshot and him in the back of the head with a rock, and he was all like breaking down from that, and I'm like, nobody was like, well, maybe like, but I was like, I guess he's still a big ass. You still gotta, because I guess even myself, if I was like in Walmart and I was in like the line and the guy in front of me was like some big ass motherfucker, I probably wouldn't talk shit to him either.
Yeah, you don't want to step to him, but I think, all bluff and bluster, if one of those villagers decided that they just had enough that day and fuck it, I have a death wish, I'm gonna kill this fucking demon, and just took a shotgun blast at Oolong, we might have never met Oolong, man.
But then you would think the situation would probably cause you to want to do something, because he's literally coming there stealing people's daughters, which until the end of the episode I literally thought Oolong was probably a piece of shit. Like when I first watched Dragon Ball, because when I first watched Dragon Ball, I had seen Z before Dragon Ball, so I only knew Oolong from just kind of being with Master Roshi. So seeing his introduction, seeing him like this, I'm like, well, Goku moral compass is just, if you say sorry, I guess he forgives you. But then I guess when you get to the end of the episode and realize he's not really like fucking them or anything,
No, he's a big old sucker being taken advantage of. These little girls, like again, like 5-6-year-old girls are like living their best lives. Oolong's going out and robbing banks to get them rings and doing like aerobics around the house and wearing fancy furs and shit.
But I thought that was fucking hilarious. And then I was thinking from their perspective, I wouldn't want to go home back to the village either. If I'm fucking living life like that, I'd be mad as hell. I'd be like, what
For
happened?
real. They go to the mansion at the end of the episode. They show the parents walk in and all the little girls are like, yo, what's up? Yeah, we're fine. You can leave.
And this is also the first episode of this. Why do people not know? Can nobody see these big ass mansion castles these people be living in? Like where's Oolong at? What the fuck? It like you want me to see that. Like,
this is the first and last time you see Oolong's mansion. After this, he's either homeless, kicking it at Kame House, or he's at Master Roshi's house, or the Capsule Corp building.
Yeah.
Like one of those two. Where the fuck this mansion go? Did he just give it over to a herd of 6-year-old girls? Like, what the hell?
He probably gave it to the village because I remember him saying something about like he bought it from like robbing people. So I guess
you know how many banks I had to rob to buy that fucking house?
But then it shows you like all these characters all having like these bad deeds put upon them. Cause like when we meet another character, it made me kind of think like maybe some of his background, like is he more evil than maybe more is not evil's the word, but more
diabolical.
Maybe no, I don't think diabolical.
It's the same word basically.
But has he done things that's not good? Having done some bad shit.
Check it past or whatever.
That's basically what I'm going to say. So then that ends episode 4. If you were rating episode 4, what would you give it?
I'm going to go like a 7. The best part of this episode is when they try to catch Oolong by having Goku do the cross-dressing bit.
Yeah, that was funny.
Goku's like waiting for too long and he's really got to take a piss. And Oolong shows up and he's like monologuing too long. So Goku just drops Trow and just takes a piss. Oolong realizes that Goku has a dick, completely ruins his day. He's like, why does this cute girl have the thing that I hate the most? A dick. I hate dudes. I hate dicks.
And with that, we end today's episode. Thanks for listening. I want to let you guys know this is part 1 of 3 parts. So there will be 2 more parts coming on the way to finish off this episode. Also, I want to let you guys know if you want to find me on social media, you can find me on Instagram at RGAP2. Also, for my co-host on the episode, you can find him at Dragon Ball Super Dope. And with that, I want to say thank you for listening and come again.
Dragon Ball Super Dope. Ray Sean gets an anime podcast. Like that shit?